Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Scaresbrook and thank you for joining me. It's Sunday evening, I had a good swim. Ollie is sort of settling in for the night, so thought I'd open something up for our evening dinner. It is in fact something from the Intrepid cellar, which I was going through today. I think the Australian wines are starting to dwindle a little bit. Because we're having a lovely green curry, I thought white wine would be better, and I was intrigued by this wine from Yeringberg. I think I've had at least one episode of Let's Taste looking at some Yeringberg wines, and I think they were older wines as well. And if you haven't heard it, I do highly recommend listening to episode 100 of my wine podcast, the Vincast, which was with Gil Depury from Yeringberg. Yeringberg is possibly was the most influential early on in my wine career. Winery. And when I was sort of really getting into wine and buying things on the secondary market, on like Langton's for example, I would kind of keep an eye out for wineries like Yeringberg and Mount Mary, because they've had a pedigree, they've been around for a long time, and I now looking back, I guess I kind of really appreciate their style, and so I'm really excited to sort of see what this 2004 Chardonnay is looking like. Hopefully it's still in good nick. It's funny, in Australia we don't generally age wines that much anyway, but white wines are not ones that typically age very long, and for the most part it would be Riesling, I guess, from, for example, the Clare Valley. Chardonnay is not something that you age, but I remember it might have been about 10 years ago actually. I managed to buy some Mount Mary Chardonnay from the early 90s, I think, and I think I bought a few bottles, and there was a little bit of bottle variation, but the wine was incredible. It held up really, really beautifully. So I'm excited to sort of see what a 2004, 13-year-old Chardonnay looks like. The cork has held up exceptionally well, which is a good sign. So let's see how the wine looks. So I'm not sure if you can see, but there is a bit of colour development here. It has kind of started to move very much into that kind of oniony colour, which is very much a hallmark of mature white wine. So you can see the age there. The bottle's still in good nick. It's certainly not showing any signs of cork taint. But the wine is most definitely beyond that secondary and pushing that tertiary stage of its life. It's sort of looking, it's showing sort of toffee notes. It's showing kind of more sort of mushroomy notes, almost like a cream of mushroom soup. It has sort of Japanese characters. I'm not quite sure what it is, but there's an oxidation here, like, which is a sign of the maturity. It actually smells a lot like sake, which is really, really fascinating. Yeah, it smells like a junmai sake, like or a raw sake. It's kind of got a milkiness to it. Let's taste. On the palate, this really doesn't look like young Yarra Valley Chardonnay. It still has some freshness, which is exciting. You can still see the acidity, but it most certainly doesn't have that kind of stone fruit or sort of citrusy notes. I think it still is showing that kind of creaminess, which I would suggest comes from some time in barrel and, more importantly, going through a malolactic fermentation, because it has a suppleness to it. But it's quite interesting. If anything, it kind of reminds me, I guess, of some skin contact white wines. If the wine are a little bit younger, you might kind of mistake this for a skin contact white wine, because it has some sort of umami characters, and I mean the colour alone would sort of suggest that. But look, this is a really, really interesting experiment, I guess, in terms of looking at mature Australian Chardonnay from one of the top, if not the top, region for Chardonnay in Australia, and from one of the top and certainly most historic producers in the region. So, look, I'm really interested to see how this wine evolves over the course of the bottle, and I'm sure we're going to enjoy it. But thank you, Yeringberg, of course, for producing this wine. And of course for your support of the podcast and of my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button. Make sure to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Please feel free to ask me a question or share an experience with a Yeringberg wine or a mature Yarra Valley Chardonnay. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and why not share some videos on social media. Speaking of which, please do follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm at Intrepid Wino, and you can find me at intrepidwino.com. That's got lots of different content, including information about my podcast, including lots of writing I've done in the past, and ways of getting in contact with me. But guys, until next time, cheers.